Today we head off into the planet of Sera to take on the Locust hordes and squash some bugs. Can you hack it? Well, before we start, I want to give a shout out to HALOOWL for his lovely artwork. As usual, he's done an excellent job. Now let's bust out of jail and give him hell. Released in 2006 and originally conceived as Unreal Warfare, the game would have played closer to the multiplayer-driven Unreal series, until eventually shifting towards a more single-player or cooperative game, with a traditional deathmatch multiplayer mode as well. Gears of War is a third-person action cover-based shooter. You play as Marcus Phoenix and Dom Santiago, two brothers in arms. The game starts with Dom busting you out of prison, stating you've just been pardoned and pressed into service within the COG again. The primary objective of the game is to find a way to map the Locust tunnels, and once done with that, cause all of their tunnels to collapse, crushing and burying the threat. Overall, it's a good story with memorable characters that all play off of each other's personalities in a believable way. A third-person cover-based shooter, you'll dash from cover to cover, blasting locusts and chainsawing horde fools who get in the way. Overall, the shooting feels good. The enemies will try numerous tactics with plenty of big set-piece battles and lots of blood all around. Couple that with the fact it has an excellent split-screen co-op, which lets you and a buddy plow through the game together as two of the four main characters, and assisted by AI soldiers as well. There's a fairly large variety in weapons, though you can only carry two primary, one sidearm, and one grenade type at a time. Smooth, responsive, the shooting feels good with the ability to dash, snap to cover, and dive in and out of cover or cover to cover. Overall, it feels good, and not much is more satisfying than dead sprinting an enemy just to chainsaw them in half where they stand. Hordes of locusts, big ugly mutants that were originally humans that mutated due to exposure to emulsion. They eventually grow large enough both in population, variety, and size to lay siege to the surface after they were originally dumped by the military. Worshipping their queen and being led by one big ugly motherfucking general, they come in a large variety of enemies, both big and small, and coupled with some Seran wildlife such as the krill, a vicious flying bat-like thing capable of rendering people down to their bones in seconds. With the sheer size of their ferocious hordes, the locusts will emerge from underground at seemingly any point using emergence holes to assault any position they want that is ground-based. Dark, gritty, with plenty of spooky environments such as the dark Seran Street, as you run from light source to light source, desperately trying to avoid being eaten by the krill which thrive in the dark, all while contending with locusts that have taken up positions which attempt to take you out. I mean, the game is filled with interesting and great atmospheric areas all throughout the game. The weaponry sounds excellent. I especially love the chainsaw, the shotgun, and the magnum pistol, but all the guns and weaponry sound pretty good. The OST is a mixture of dark, creepy, coupled with militaristic action, blazing chaos. The soundtrack is pretty solid and memorable and helps set the tone of the areas and game as well. A fairly pretty looking game with plenty of violence, gore, and blood. The game runs smoothly on my Xbox One and I didn't notice any real hiccups, even in split screen. Overall, it works well and looks nice. The it can feel somewhat clunky at times. Sometimes you'll get stuck on things when you run at a dead sprint. It's also a gory, violent bloodbath. If you don't like shooters or gore and violence, I recommend you find something else, friend. The frequency in which allied companions get downed and you have to go revive them before they bleed out can also be pretty annoying, especially when you're trying to accomplish an objective, such as take out a turret at the same time, which usually that's what happened to them. They ran directly for the turret and got killed. Overall though, it's a fairly well made game and a good time overall. Overall, I definitely recommend you go out and buy this. Hell, it's cheap, easy to acquire both on original hardware and re-releases. I personally got Gears 1, 2, 3, and Judgment included when I bought Gears of War 4, which was a hell of a bonus. I mean, I just got 5 AAA games for 60 bucks. If you're looking for more fun shooters, then it's hard to go wrong with Gears. Go out, grab a buddy, and let her rip. I'd also like to give another shout out to Halo for his great artwork as usual, and I'd like you to subscribe and check out the content below if you liked it. This has been Core, and I'll see you next time.